存在人のなり強制し精進外反物の毛みたいだ初心高い命シャドウはパッパラパン中身なき人間寄せ期待不平等な人生才能もない大上非日常がお心平等に没個性たどる気を僕に居場所などないから夢のはずまで泣いてないでどんな顔すればいいか分かってるだけどまだ答えてくれよ闇を払って闇を払って夜の帳が降りたら合図だ相対して回る感情線誰事などは吐き捨てけたまだ止めないでまだ止めないで誰よりも里かる街に生まれしこの正体を今はただ呪い呪われた僕の未来を想像して走って転んで消えない痛みでいけば世界が待ってるこの一瞬を情状的感情が来でいく爆破順々に従った血管の罰視線確かない愛に蒸気声も出せないまま悪屈な誓いのなき百役を呪術つなぎなくの果てまでも極楽往生現実決定ないで命を投げ出さないでうちの脆さに浸ってどんな顔すればいいかわからないよ今はただ答えてくれよ五条は大抵五条は大抵不確かな声をするぐらいで暗想させて回る感情線その先に今立ち上がる手ただ追いかけてただ追いかけて誰よりも強くありたいこれが君の運命する今はただこのぐらい夜の底に深く深く落ち込んで学校に見えたかいこれが今の僕なんだ何者にもなれないだけの屍た笑いよ目の前の全てから逃げることさえやめたイメージを繰り返し想像の先を行けた闇を払って闇を払って夜の帳が降りたら合図だ相対して回る感情線誰事などは吐き捨ていけたまだ止めないでまだ止めないで誰よりもたどかる街に生まれしこの正体を今はただ呪い呪われた僕の未来を想像して走って転んで消えない痛んでいては世界が待ってるこの一瞬を
So here we are. Final chapter of JJK. Let's get into it. Strong and intelligent allies gathered together. Gege Akutami, chapter 271. From here on out. I like that literally everyone is in the art other than the villains. You know, you got all... Damn, even Mekamaru is in this picture. Gojo, Geto, no Kinjaku Geto, though. Interesting. Panda, literally everyone except... I mean, Hikari's in here. None of the incarnated players are in here either. Interesting, but... You know, we'll let it rot. Well, is that... It looks like... Damn, now I can't remember his name. Lightning Dude. Damn, why can't... Kashimo. Yeah, that's definitely Kashimo in the back. So that might be Higurama back there too. But I don't know. I digress. Alright. Catch the Scoundrel. Couldn't find a curse seal or marking anywhere on this chick. The curse user's gotta be nearby, right? Assuming they're not a cursed spirit and are working remotely, we ought to get the hell out of Dodge. You think we're in their range? Maybe. Their technique could be suited for covert work, or they could be extremely skilled with cursed energy. This is becoming a pain. Did his face ever go back to normal, like, at all? No, I mean, I don't think so. Maybe when I was asleep. Damn. So, whoever this curse user is, peak gaslighter. A1. Cream of the crop gaslighter. Bars. That's a real one. Assuming it's a no, then we're dealing with a range of at least 50 meters. Let's say 100 to be safe. What's the move? We're smack dab in the middle of town right now. There's people everywhere. Even if we check the buildings, there's too many blind spots. Although, we should be able to notice when the technique is activating if we get to a good vantage spot. I hate reading out loud, just so y'all know. Just so y'all are aware. I'm anti-reading out louder. Oh, duh. We just have to go into an open field. Culprit. Found you. That'd work great if our guy was a colossal dumbass. Does that make me a dumbass for coming up with it? Moron. Let's give the babe to Itadori. He can clear 100 meters in a black flash. What? He can clear 100 meters. Oh, in a flash. I am brain dead. Culprit targets range. Even if the technique is disabled by moving out of range, they'd be a real idiot to show themselves right after. And we've already established they're not going to chase after us. They'd just wait till things cooled off and start over. We can't do anything to stand out. Who's the moron now, Kugisaki? How about sending them on an all expenses paid trip? What the fuck? That might work, but the user likely knows her location through their technique. We only have our eyes. Let's not stalk the stalker. If we send them on a trip, that might force the cursed user to wait and reactivate their technique when they get back. Not entirely implausible, but that'd be put the ball in the culprit's court. Do you do anything but nitpick? Yeah. Plus, you're assuming this curse user dude is super smart. There's plenty out there dumber than us, like me. Try me in, Othello Fushiguro. I'd wash you. What? Hell yeah, let's show him our brains. You two sound like you're compensating for something. I'm borrowing your sandals. We'll have them leave the technique's range. Then we'll strike the moment it's reactivated. That's exactly what we've been saying. My plan involves that. A 40-floor condo. It should be easily over 150 meters. We'll have them go visit their friend and zip up to the top floor to get out of the technique's range. The Ijichi-sanji. Then Ijichi-san and a window can keep an eye on the buzzer in the entrance. We'll find a good lookout point and wait for the reactivation. We're dealing with a creep obsessed enough to stalk Fukuzawa-san 24 hours a day. We didn't find any hidden microphones. As long as they don't have a technique that lets them overhear our conversations, we should be able to bait them. Doors opening. 40th floor. Oh, your face is back to normal too. Or your face is back to normal. I am illiterate. Okay, everybody's looking around. Oh, they caught him. Who the hell are you? Kugisaki, ready for launch. Guys, face turned back. Oh, damn, she's just... What the fuck? Is she just rappelling down the building with a hammer? Yeah, that's kind of rotto. Bam, dash, piece of cake. Good? Idiots. And, you guys. Taking things lightly, I see. I'm sorry. I'm weak. Know this dude? Nope. I've never seen him before. You bitch! Who do you think bought you that bag? Damn. Oh. Who'd have thought? A classic pot calling the kettle black type situation. Seems like a petty grudge. It's not reasonable to expect her to remember every customer from her hostess work. Dude spent 1,000,000 yen. Who'd forget that? Sounds like a pretty sweet gig. You're so clueless, you know that? Hey, don't look so glum, chum. What the fuck? Not like you're about to be executed or anything. What are you gonna do with me? I'm well past the age where I should know how to communicate, but I tried putting all the blame on her. I thought that after Kusakabe Sensei, I do switch training with you, Gojo Sensei. I guess that'd be fine, but how do I put this? Haven't we had enough Gojo Satoru? What? I want you to be a bit more forward thinking, Yuji. Sure, I want you to carry on my dream should anything happen to me. But if this is where I bow out, there will be a point where you guys grow further than I ever did, right? Not necessarily. I think there should be at least one among you who forgets about me and develops strength completely different from that of my own. None of us could ever forget you. You seem kinda out of character. You're sounding a little timid. Are you okay? Haha, you're such a kid. This is confidence. Confidence I've never had before. I'm expecting great things from you. Got that, Yuji? You acknowledge that you messed up. That's all that matters. Take some time to reflect, then come help us on our next mission. I'm expecting great things from you. Okay. Damn. Got me in my feelings a little bit. Pretty based. Wait, goddamn. What the hell? By the way, what did you do with that thing? Oh, I tossed it. What? Don't sweat it. It's not dangerous anymore. Should make for a perfect talisman now. Come on. It's all good. Howdy, Sakuna. Who'd have thought I'd see you here? Well, well. What's this? Our third conversation? My technique messes with the soul, after all. Consider this a vestige. Welcome to the pathway souls walk on their way down the cycle. I meant to ask you. You were lying, weren't you? To yourself and everyone else. You weren't living according to your own stature. You wanted revenge. Revenge against those who resented and persecuted that cursed, unwanted little wretch. Wait, what? What's the difference? I lived only in the matter I knew. That is how I chose to go on. Actually, no. I had different paths I could have traversed. Two, to be precise. Interesting. And yet, I couldn't help but spit out the curses stirring deep within my viscera. I feared my curse would immolate me. Should there be a next time, perhaps it would be nice to walk down a different path. That's so boring. You've gone soft, asshole. Obviously, I lost after all. Is that Uraome? Huh. What the hell? So I'm the only one left sulking like a child? God damn it! Alright, then we got cuts of everyone all happy. Creek. Jujutsu Kaisen. End. There's the finger. Thank you so much for reading these past 6 years. Please look forward to Gege Akutami's next work. Volumes 29 and 30 will be released together on December 25th on Christmas. Gege Akutami's next work. Interesting. So, overall, well, I guess we'll wait for the discussion. What the fuck? Hello? Oh, hello?
Hey, I can hear you now.
Hey, buddy.
What's good?
Not too much. If anyone else wants to join, I guess they're welcome to. Hang on.
Yeah, invite whoever for the final think piece.
The final stink piece.
Hmm.
Uh,
His writing is fire.
who's writing?
Yours? You said stink piece.
Oh, true, true, true. Hang on, I'm letting a few people know.
Yeah, no problem.
I probably should have like texted people about this earlier, but it was kind of like a last second whim.
That's fair.
I digress though.
Speaking of last second, I was low key thinking when you suggested the idea of like me joining you to Yap earlier, I was gonna put together like a think piece or something, and then I got kind of caught up in running errands and I needed to go borrow a controller from Najee. So I'll just be spitting domers for tonight.
we, yeah, no worries. I'm about to open some packs while I do this because
Oh hell yeah. A
my
little bit of
brain is
multitasking.
fried. Yeah. Um. So, excuse me. Overall, I think it's kind of weird. It's like I feel like maybe I'm just in a weird place with JJK.
Same.
I am. All right. I'm not gonna say overall it's mid. That would be
Yeah.
disingenuous as fuck.
It's conflicting, to say the least.
Part of me definitely wants a part two, because
Same.
there's a lot of illusions there.
Yeah.
This last chapter made me feel a lot of different things, obviously with the whole Gojo, and then immediately Yuji is like, I'm expecting great things out of you, kind of walking that path. And then obviously Sukuna, my goat. I'm wearing this Sukuna shirt.
Yeah. Of course.
Sukuna is hands down my favorite
Best
character in
character.
JJK. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. He's also Gege's favorite character. Like we can all agree on that, right?
He's just a real nigga, bro. Um, I feel like, okay, I'll say the quiet part out loud. We knew the ending was gonna be bad, or unsatisfying, unceremonious.
On God, battle shonens when it's time to have an ending that just isn't what everybody wanted. Although you're never gonna get what everybody wanted. I
I
guess.
don't even mean just that. I mean like the sudden I'm ending in 5 chapters.
Dude, when I found out that was real, I like, cause you hear stuff like that all the time, right? Where like in anime rumors just going around communities, and it's never real. Like it's always so fake. So when I first heard that, I was like, that's gotta be just some bait, just some total clickbaiting, right? But nope, it was for the one time, it was real.
he sent that shit, bro. So
That's
I
wild to me.
guess the way I'm feeling, I'm definitely disappointed. Um,
Same.
feels bad. I'll still give JJK like an overall 8. I don't think the ending was as bad as Attack on Titan, but I don't know, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed by a lot. Uh,
That's fair. And to be fair, I understand exactly why you are, because like not to be super like negative and gripey off rip, but just when I heard that the series was ending in 5 chapters, the main thing I thought about was, oh man, there are so many like plot lines, themes, character dynamics and stuff that game has kind of like set up and subtly hinted at that I just wanted to be explored so much more. But 5 chapters just wouldn't be able to do it, especially when one of those chapters is dedicated entirely to explaining the new shadows.
Yeah, that kind of irked me a little bit. Like, you had Uraume just nuke themselves. You had
Yep.
Sukuna just go out incredibly unceremoniously, ungraciously, and like, bro, I'm gonna ask the real question. What the fuck is Yuji's domain expansion? Just
That's what I was saying,
memories?
bro.
Like,
Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Sukuna going out the way he did because at the end of the day, he is a curse, and I think that there's something kind of poetic with like somebody who is hailed as the king of curses, kind of like turning into this weird, disgusting, groveling blob, and like indignantly like denying his death while being unable to do anything about it. I think there's something cool about that. However, I completely agree with you when it kind of just felt like ever since the moment that they left Yuji's domain, it's kind of felt like Gege was just like, all right, let me wrap this up. I want to clock out and go home. Because, like, at the end of okay, here's the thing. I couldn't help but laugh to myself a bit when we got 2 chapters of this really serious, like, break in the fight of Yuji and Sukuna kind of like walking through, talking about things, being like, oh, where this is going to go? Why are they talking about fish? What does Yuji mean when he says, I could kill you at any time? Like, what's the relationship with like him pitying him? Are they going to exacerbate this like relationship they have? Is Sukuna going to have a reflection on like the fact that somebody's actually looking down on him for once? And then like the domain ends and Yuji just goes straight back to punching him.
Yeah, man. And even like, okay, fucking Mahito, because I was thinking about it today and I was like,
my goat.
To be honest, my 3 favorite characters are Kenjaku, Mahito, and Sukuna.
So real for that.
I love Hikari, but Hikari has no presence other than like 2 fights.
My thing is with Hikari, sorry, Hikari, words are hard. Hikari is his biggest downfall was one being the one tasked to stall Urame, because I think Gege introduced Hikari as like, okay, I'm about to say some real hater shit.
Say
I promise that it's not as negative as it sounds. I think Hikari is the definitive like peak example of why people call Gege an aura merchant.
That's fair.
Because like he was introduced and he was like a cool gambler, and they were like, his cursed energy is rough around the edges, and that gives his punches an extra edge. And then it's just like his domain expansion is just giving him infinite reverse curse technique, which like cool gimmick and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he was just a punch and kick merchant in JJK when we have Yuji already. I'm not even gonna lie, it could have been like, give Hikari Playful Cloud. That single-handedly would have like get him so much chance for like choreography and tactics. Just give him a weapon, make him a weapons user, like Maki. But like he has something other than Maki, which differentiates him. Right now he's just Yuji because he's just a guy who punches and kicks and doesn't stay down.
There's so much just like that. I don't want a part 2 because I feel like
no, me neither.
One, we already learned our lesson, right? Like Gege told us who he is, and this nigga is going to shit it out on the finish line, like just to get it done.
Honestly, the reason I don't want a part 2 is because Sukuna and Kenjaku are dead. Like, there's nothing that warrants a part 2. The only reason why I wanted like this currently, this story to go on for so much longer was because of just how many ramifications we knew about with things like
the merger.
Gojo dying, if Megami died. Like, okay, ironically enough, I'm actually fine that the merger didn't go anywhere, because that kind of just confirms that the merger was like the lose condition. Because like if Sukuna won, then the merger would have happened. If the Culling Games went the way like Kenjaku idealized, well, I can't even tell like if that was the way he idealized, because at the end of the day, all Kenny wanted was a situation he couldn't control, and technically he succeeded. That's why he was like so interested in Sukuna, and why he like like didn't care about the rest of the disaster curses anymore because he saw that they couldn't hold a finger to Sukuna, the true harbinger of chaos and uncontrollable, ungovernable jujutsu of sorcery.
Well, this is true. It's like, I don't know, man, because you have Sukuna talking about like, oh, whatever, I could have gone this way or that way, right? I had two paths. Hang on, sorry.
You're good. I am also I'm currently lagging a bit, so you can take all the time you need for my internet to salvage itself.
Wait. Nah, Sukuna's talking about, right, I have these two paths that I could go. And then you have Mahito talking about you wanted revenge for that curse. Like, who is Mahito talking about? Is he talking about young Sukuna? Is he talking about Yuji? Like, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? I genuinely don't know. Like, maybe
The way
Gojo?
I interpreted that was I imagined Mahito was talking about a younger Sukuna who was like becoming the king of curses and therefore was beginning to like, before he was fully rejected and reviled by everyone he's ever been around. Because, after 1,000 years of legend, he doesn't give a shit anymore. He knows that everybody hates him and that he is universally feared. Like, that's just who he's become. So I imagine Mahito's talking about whoever he was before that. Just one last antsy teensy bit of Gege trying to make his glorious king, his glorious main character Sukuna, a little like relatable and tragic. Which, in a way I can get it. I can't even hate on it because I know how much Gege loves Sukuna. And Sukuna's a cool, interesting character.
But I feel like that stinks because, like, trying to make Sukuna tragic, just to me, doesn't hit.
No, I completely get it. Yeah, no, it doesn't hit. I'm just saying I understand why Gege did it, because Gege just wants... Gege definitely regrets killing Sukuna. I genuinely, like, I will place money on the table. Gege wanted Sukuna to win, but the Battle Shonen gods wouldn't let him do that. They had to make the good guys win, because, My Hero Academia just ended recently, and Gege was like, well, shit.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I feel like it would have been either way within 5 chapters. Even if Sukuna won, like, would it be satisfying? I don't know. Like,
it wouldn't. And I figured that was the whole point, because we've seen, to be fair, like, we are talking about an author who has made a lot of unsatisfying decisions in JJK. Like, preemptively closing up a lot of character dynamics, storylines, writing off a lot of characters for 90% of the series, like Nobara killing Yuki when he definitely shouldn't have. My glorious MILF Queen Yuki should have won that fight. And also, shit, what was I going to say earlier? Oh, not to steer the conversation off topic, but can I ask you a question that, like, we could just definitely agree on?
What's up?
How the fuck is Higuruma alive?
Yeah, see...
The executioner's sword disappeared. If he didn't die, why would he dispel it?
I feel like they straight up said that, like, Higuruma fucking died, dude. That's why I was like, what the fuck?
Because it was like, it was unironically the only death in JJK since Nanami that has hit for me. Like, at the time. So some characters hadn't died yet until after that, but since Nanami, Higuruma, only like moment in the series that actually hit for me, because I rocked with Higuruma. I thought he was cool. But when he died a few chapters later, I was like, okay, I understand. And then he came back and I'm like, man, I've never liked a character and not wanted them to come back to life until now. Because that just felt dumb.
Yeah, there was a lot of rug pulls, I feel like. That just like, I don't know. There's a lot of rug pulls. There was a lot of like shit that got built up, like the merger, like Tengen, like all this other shit. That
Tengen's such a fraud. I hate Tengen so much. Tengen and Gakuganji, like, unironically, my 2 least favorite characters in the whole series. Their entire point was to int. Not even sell, not even throw. Int. Like, Tengen was the reason why Yuki lost, and then Gakuganji killed Yaga and introduced like that, like, little plot line, that theme with like the autonomy of cursed corpses and their feelings or whatever. And we never talked about it again. We never saw Panda until like the final page, or like during post game discussions, in their competitive lobbies or whatever, when all the
Yeah,
16-year-olds were just talking post game as if they were like they were like still discussing strategy. That's honestly, I like I'm rambling. That is the part that pisses me off the most about like the ending, is after the Sukuna fight was over, all of these 15 and 16-year-olds get in a room and are like, they're acting like the end of a football game, where they're like, oh, next time we could do this different, or we could have done this different, blah, blah, blah. And half of it just felt like Gege like inhaling so much copium to try and like tell the audience, like, see, actually, I thought of all of these strategies they could have done. I thought of all of these ways they could have killed Sukuna faster. I thought of all these, and like none of it would have worked. Like, just admit you wanted the fight to go on for longer, man. Be honest with yourself.
yeah.
Anyway, yap over. Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know, man. I feel like even like if you go and you look at the art for the chapter, you can see. That's why I said like, oh, is that Higuruma up there? You can see clear as day Kinjaku up there at the top. Not Kinjaku.
Just behind the speech bubble.
Kashimo. No, at the very top. Like the art.
Oh, and the color spread. My fault.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my shoulder.
He's
That's my
right
shoulder.
there, bro. Like, I'm like, brother. Like, if we're gonna
know
kill
what?
people, then kill them. If we're gonna fucking rug pull, like, if we're gonna pull a fucking, oh, he's back alive because Sukuna didn't cut deep. Like, what? Like, I don't know.
You know who else
bro.
they entirely just did not draw at all in the color spread? They put Kashimo's legs, but you know who they entirely forgot? My glorious queen Yuki Tsukumo. She is nowhere to be found.
Because Yuki was not relevant. Like, in Gege's eyes, bro. I genuinely
It
believe
pisses
that.
me off so bad. She was such a good character. Like, being the catalyst for like to like give Geto the right idea, but also to like twist his mind for him to like take what her idea was and just bastardize it. It was such a good dynamic between them that could have been carried on with Kitty and Yuki, because they had similarly like both different side of the same coin's ideas, which was like unironically everything they were talking about was the part of JJK that interested me the most, because they kept like talking about how they were going to present the idea to like world governments about cursed energy as like something that can be used and manipulated, and how it could like change the relationship between countries and resources and stuff. And I was like, these are the kind of ramifications I thought we were going to get after the Culling Games were over. Because like during the Culling Games, we had that like one chapter where the American military invaded Shinjuku, or whichever city it was. There were multiple like regions the Culling Games was going on in, but they invaded one of them,
Lost plot,
and
bro.
then just nothing happened.
Yeah,
Nothing
bro.
happened with that.
Lost plot. What happens post, Tingen in the fucking barrier and the curses being a Japanese phenomenon? Like, it's just like, man, I don't know. I'm not gonna say the more I talk about it and the more I think about it, the more it makes me hate JJK, but it's just like,
No, I understand. It's
God
just like the more we
damn,
talk
bro.
about it, the more we think about the lost plots and like the things that could have been.
Way too fumble, bro. Like what else do I say, bro? Like,
And the worst part is like I've defended this manga. I've heard people say that it's mid, that it's the bare minimum of a battle shonen, and I have told them that the
It's
reason why a lot of
soulless.
people don't understand this manga are two reasons. One, the official Viz translator, dog shit, literally memed on for like his Google Translate ass translations. Like, you can look them up. Some of them are just straight up wrong and like basically make people not even know how the story works. The second thing, a kind of similar vein actually, a lot of the themes in both like religion, comedy, all of that are Eastern. They are old Japanese, they are Buddhist, they are like just Eastern themes and Eastern like comical references. Like, with like Toto's entire personality being based around the Kama Sutra, the notion of like Buddhism being tied to cursed energy, and like, the strongest and being powerful and being alone is kind of relegated to like the divine and the bodhisattva, and being like the honored one, as Gojo said. That's like, the most
Yeah.
iconic line of the series. Like, I've defended this manga and told people that there are layers to it. It's just that Gege will kind of like hint at these things. But the problem is, okay, comparing it to One Piece. One Piece does a lot of religious references. Like, we're in a big, like, every time the giants are on the screen or the page, we see references to Norse mythology, to artifacts, relics, poems from the Poetic Edda, all those kinds of things. And, those are like auxiliary. But the way that Gege writes JJK makes it feel, because it is so tied to the core of cursed energy, that these religious references are meant to be like front and center, but
And
they're
deep.
not.
Yeah. 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 I don't know, man. I even like last chapter, like teasing Kinjaku, being with
Yeah, I have no idea why they did that. Also,
like,
I don't care what people say. Takaba, my favorite character.
and that's fair. I don't know, man. I think JJK was great, but you had to be there, and I do not think. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think history is gonna remember JJK fondly. I think in a month or two, kind of like how people are coming around to My Hero's ending, people will come around to JJK. I just think I don't know, man. There's so much just missed, and it's bound to happen, right? We have Iraqi Forgottis for a reason, but like,
Yeah.
good lord, bro, it's just like
I
I
mean, to be
feel
fair,
like
Araki Forgotti is from like a over 1,000 chapter manga. If
true.
we put all of them together,
I just feel like
still doesn't exempt you from it though.
no, exactly. I feel like uh we're left holding a bag with like 30% of the shit that we wanted actually like resolved and concluded.
Yeah, I completely get that.
Just for like the last two chapters to be tantamount to Yuji trying to bring a new era for cursed users, which like literally could have been like 3 pages and it would have had the same effect. I feel like it didn't
It's
need
not
to
even that
be
I have a
all
problem
this.
with Yuji bringing a new era to curse users, because I think that kind of wraps up a couple of character arcs with like Yuji kind of taking Gojo's mantle of being like very interested in the preservation of other people. Because like, I know a lot of people wanted Gojo back. If I'm being completely honest,
I
I
did not.
think
I'm
Gege,
so glad that he's not back.
on God. Anyway, I think the main thing Gege did like right with I Gege made a lot of flashbacks during the Shinjuku Showdown that felt like they weren't really of substance unless they involved Gojo, for me, if I'm being completely honest. And the way that he like treated the other kids, because to me it feels like he truly learned from, and we all know this, that's why he was against Yuji's execution at the very beginning, because he learned from hidden inventory. He wants to like protect the youngins, make sure that the next generation succeeds, because he knows that the old people in Jujutsu Society, like Gakuganji, fucking suck. They're terrible. And so he wants to preserve people like Yuji who have that prodigiousness and that like mindfulness to them. And I think Yuji finally taking up that mantle is something that's good and that I enjoy. I don't, however, need a full chapter of them explaining the new Shadow School. Yes, I'm back on
The
that.
new Shadow School and a nigga with bug eyes. Like, I don't
Oh,
know,
also the
bro.
Mei thing. Like that really random like cliffhanger with like Mei talking about like doing deals with the higher ups and getting money and whatever. I don't even remember what she did. I just remember it was something that never went anywhere and she just no longer had any screen
Sucks.
time.
I
Bro,
don't know.
give every amount of pain the MCs suffered and give it to Mei. I hate her so much. I genuinely like, if Gege wanted to make the ending satisfying, he would have. I understand it in one way. Like I get the message there that there are pieces of shit in like the economic society and like religious societies and whatever who will just take advantage of others and use them, and even like in governments who will never actually like throw themselves on the line, only use others as pawns. I understand the role May plays. I still just hate her though, which I guess technically is good writing from Gege because that's probably the point.
No, that's valid and real. My thing is just like, I don't know what happens to Jujutsu Society. Like
See,
what
that's
are the
what I wanted
like?
to know.
There's so
What's going to happen to
much
the
that
big
just
three clans? One of them,
exactly.
everybody's dead. The other, like Megami, like somehow doesn't have permanent brain damage after taking 5 unlimited voids and a bunch of soul cleaves. And then the third one is headed by a fraud, Noritoshi Fraud Mo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
Shout out to Kyoto Jujutsu High for being the most mid scholarly program ever.
That's why I'm saying, like, part of me, a big part of me, I'm glad that it's done. It's over with. We can move on from this. Is it disappointing? Yeah. Is it bittersweet? Yeah. Especially, like, reading this last chapter because it does evoke and, like, elicit emotion and intrigue. So it's like,
Yeah,
damn,
because I
way to
think a lot of us,
fucking thump
especially
me.
like
But,
with the extremely good animation by Mappa, have become very attached to Jujutsu Kaisen. And I think the fact that the most recent season that was animated was Shibuya, which kind of, drew a lot of people in and reminded a lot of manga readers of the trauma and the fact that, like, the protagonists can lose and a lot of the emotional moments we went through, like Nanami's death, what happens to Nobara, Toto's speech, and all that. I think it made everybody reattach to Jujutsu Kaisen and develop that attachment. And then, of course, the beginning of it hit an inventory when, everybody kind of learned and realized, oh, this is a tragic yaoi story.
oh,
Again, like
boy.
giving everybody that sense of like that like hole in their heart. I'll say that's what season 2 of JJK did, like in the animation, like that those two arcs back to back.
I'll agree.
This kind of left a hole in everybody, which I guess
I'll,
in turn made them want more and develop that attachment to the series because they saw these characters suffer so much and they wanted closure for them.
yeah, which is like, that's the part that sucks because we didn't get, I feel like, really any closure. Just like, even Sukuna basically saying, if I could do it again, I think I'd do it different. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you
It's
mean, bro? Like,
if and when, but never is. It's the potential man meme.
weak. But all in all, I enjoyed JJK. I enjoyed the ride. I'm not mad at the ending. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, me neither.
Uh, I'm glad that things like ended on a happy note. Uh, all things considered.
Yeah,
Uh, but I do think like JJK is just another notch on the belt of like niggas who cannot close. Uh,
yeah.
just
Shout out Yu Yu
bad
Hakusho.
shit. At least Yu Yu Hakusho had like a resolute and like good and fulfilling ending.
That's fair.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it at least was conclusive. It didn't just leave you with like a whole like damn what the fuck. Uh all in all, like I said, I do think this definitely tarnishes the legacy that JJK will leave behind. But at least we all know the absolute truth now. That
Which
is,
is
Chainsaw Man is just better.
on
It
God.
has
I've been
always
saying
been
that.
better,
I
but
think
this
Chainsaw Man
just
is unironically like
canonized it.
possibly the best. I won't say the best. Like the best. Actually, I can't even say the best mainstream Nujin manga anymore because like some other manga are becoming mainstream now. Like Dandadan got anime got announced, so now people are getting into that, which is pretty cool. And then of course Sakamoto Days and Kagurabachi.
Yep. Which is like, damn, do I just start reading Sakamoto Days to catch up now? Like, I mean, yeah, that's like next on my list, but it's like, damn, dude. Just I wish things would have ended better. I wish things would have ended better. But in the end, like, I mean, we didn't even get fucking Sukuna's like a real like understanding of his technique. Like we got a vague one,
That's what I was saying.
but
Like
like
when you sent me that shrine theory, I was like, oh, surely they're going to elaborate on this. And then the manga was just like Suguna's technique shrine, and kept it pushing.
basically. But fuck, man. I don't know. Like I totally forgot what I was about to say. JJK, very disappointing. Feels bad, but could have been worse.
Now the
It
real
will go
question
down
is,
as a manga of all time for sure.
do you think Mappa is going to extend or change the ending?
Um, I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it. It definitely sucks that this is what it is. Is it as bad as Attack on Titan? Nah, but it's yikes. JJK immortalized as a manga of all time.
How cruel.
Fuck, man. There's just I don't know. The more I like look over this chapter, just like okay, what's the fucking boundary? Like the way down the cycle, like there's so much. There's so much that Gege could have done, that Gege could have answered. And we didn't
Yeah.
need like another like 50 to 100 chapters, but like damn, bro, like you
Maybe
just
like maybe 10, 20 perhaps.
think 20 it could have been perfect.
Just to cover like the big three clans, what was going on in the higher echelons of Jujutsu, how the world reacted to this, like the governments and whatnot, realizing that there is cursed energy that Kenjaku introduced as renewable energy, the rest of the world learning about curses, yada yada. Maybe a
Yada
little bit of a
and
time skip to
yada.
the future, just to see how everybody's doing. Why the or perhaps maybe even a chapter about why the fuck Kenjaku was back again. Although I can't really, imagine it's fucking ghetto because we couldn't see his forehead behind the speech bubble, and and now just Ghetto and Gojo are separated again, and all the Fujoshis are like, well, at least they're reunited in the afterlife. Nope, not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, at least I can rest easy knowing that even if none of my theories were valid or true, at least I still won because I wasn't a fucking Gojo will come back brain rot freak. So I at least walk away with that W. I at least
Oh
walk
God.
away with the knowledge and the satisfaction of not being a fucking Gojo simp.
Bro, you know that one image of Gojo will come back and it keeps like changing and like scratching off the current chapter that just came out and then putting in next
Yes.
chapter and then scratching out that. Bro, I saw a meme today where it was like, every single chapter since what, 236 crossed off 271 and it said Gojo will come back Chainsaw Man chapter 173.
Oh, I'm weak. Nah,
That shit had
bro.
me rolling,
It
tearing
just
up even.
it goes to prove Chainsaw Man is without a doubt
The goat.
the GOAT, bro.
I will say it here and I will say it now. Nobody does it like Fujimoto and my glorious victim king Dingy. Although I will say, this does make me wonder where do you think a lot of people who have read Jujutsu Kaisen and only JJK are gonna, do you think the epidemic that some people talk about, like when a big manga ends, where they suddenly start flocking to other ones, do you think that's gonna happen here?
To Chainsaw Man, probably. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
do
definitely
you think
some
the reading
overlap, but
comprehension epidemic in Chainsaw Man is gonna double even more than it already was?
I think he's gonna triple.
Now here's the real question. Who do you think has worse reading comprehension? Chainsaw Man fans or JJK fans? Because both are terrible. I will say that now. Both are abhorrent.
I think JJK fans for sure.
I thought for the longest time it was JJK fans until the one chapter where, for the sake of Twitch TOS, I will not say too much. When Yoru took over Asa for a moment and momentarily unzipped Denji, quote unquote.
Nah, I know
I
what
knew
you
the
mean.
reading comprehension devil was at its all-time high when I heard motherfuckers referring to that as like a W for their ship for Asa and Denji. And I'm like, how is this an Asa Din W when both of the people you just mentioned got SA'd in one fell swoop? Because like one, that is a devil using somebody's body to against their consent, fiddle with the other. Like that is that's when I knew. So I saw some motherfuckers on Twitter being like, "Oh my god, finally, didn't you get some?" No, no, that was assault, brother.
Yes, but it's still not as bad as Gojo fans. And
I
for
will I
that,
will confirm. I do understand. I will not refute you on that.
I gotta say,
No, I
fuck
get
'em.
it.
Uh,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Gojo hater. Like, I consider myself a Gojo fan. I just was never on the he's coming back train. Like, I think he's actually, by Jujutsu Kaisen standards, I think he's a well written character, and his character arc was one of the few that was actually concluded and written out.
I
But then he
uh,
died, and I was like, well, that's just how it is.
I mean,
Now the others have to come in and clutch up for him. The youngins.
Gojo was cool, but he was never like, I don't know. I don't know if I would go as far as saying I was a Gojo fan.
I mean, I was a Gojo fan by the standard that like I liked him. That's that's all I'll say about it. I wouldn't consider myself like a Gojo stan or anything, but like I thought he was a cool and interesting character. I liked his, representation of. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of characters in fiction who have like a it's lonely at the top mindset, and I think Gojo wasn't bad by
Me
those
for
standards.
real.
I think he portrayed it pretty well.
Me for real. Me for
I liked
real.
his relationship with the hierarchs of Jujutsu Society and how just illuminated that they were just such pieces of shit and only saw the people who died for them as weapons. Classic Antifa messaging. I'll always love me some of that. But yeah,
Now we wait for JJK Part 2. Boogie
on
Woogie.
God.
Electric Boogie Woogie.
I don't care what people say. My goat Toto coming back, I was ecstatic.
Nah, there was
I
some
was so
banger
ready.
moments. The fight with Sukuna was great, and it was 45 chapters, I think, in total.
Yeah, it was
So,
it was
I
like
mean,
that, like 40 to 50.
like, good lord. But also, like, I don't know how else it could have ended. I mean, it could have ended more satisfying, but it's like, good lord.
No, I get it.
God damn.
I know some people say they want a part two, but a guy like me, I'm like, I think the only thing that Gege could have done after Sukuna dying and finally losing the fight was just like resolution and concluding plot lines and ramifications and fallout. There could not have been another conflict or another plot line started up because Sukuna was just the magnum opus of JJK. Like literally the name of the first chapter is Ryomen Sukuna. He is the definitive like he is the I I don't I want to say main character of JJK so bad because like so much of the entire story revolves around him. It just so happens to be from Yuji's perspective. So I don't think that we could ever get like any significant amount of story after him losing. I just expected there to be more like fallout, more ramifications, more like we said stuff with the big three clans, the world government, all that. Maybe
Yeah,
Mene
but
dying,
Gege said,
maybe
brother,
Higuruma not
I
coming
don't give
back.
a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
On
I
God,
feel
bro. That's what we need
liberated.
to. That's what we need to play and reread this chapter. Cause that's what Gege said, bro. I'm done. I don't give a shit. This shit
He
is
clocked
over,
out.
nigga. But now we're on to the
The
next thing.
glorious King Toto survived, though. Well, we're on to the real what?
The next thing. No, the Toto survived, but also like, nah. I don't know. I'm not mad that Toto survived. It's just like, damn. I really really don't care. Like, this shit
That's
is
fair.
all over for me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
I just
not.
always liked
I'm happy
Toto
that it's
because
done.
I feel like Toto was, other than Gojo, Toto was like the biggest anchor to the whole like Buddhist and spiritualist theme going on in JJK that Gege clearly wanted to like set up but couldn't follow through with. You know, with like all of his quotes from the Kama Sutra and his whole personality kind of being revolved around it. I thought he was cool and interesting. Plus, I'm
No,
always
he
a
was
sucker for
definitely
the characters
cool.
who are just like an undying beam of positivity and fun in a
And
world full of fighting and desolation.
I feel that. I
Like
just
Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
yes, but also damn, like I feel like he got scaled off, man. He got scaled off and that shit stinks like fuck.
I mean, it do be like that. He's a support character at the end of the day. Like, strong as he is, as much as he can punch special grades in the face, this truly was Jump Jutsu Kaisen, and he and Yuji are at their best when they're tag teaming a motherfucker. You know, hitting black
Facts.
flashes.
Absolutely factual, brother.
Also, speaking of black flashes, it boggles my mind thinking about how many characters we ended the series not having hit a black flash when Nobara did. Like, how did she do that? And that was all the way back before
hacks,
Shibuya too.
hacks, hacks.
She was hacking.
I mean, who the fuck knows, right? Gege definitely doesn't.
What, how to land one? We kind of learned that. It's kind
No,
of a
I'm
mixture of
saying
like
Gege
both
doesn't know
luck
how
and
nobody
mental
else
state.
didn't land one. Gege's like,
Oh.
fuck it. Not
All
my
I'm
chair, not my
saying,
problem.
me personally, I think if Yuki landed a black flash against Kenjaku, he would have fucking died, exploded, red mist. I still think she would have won that. That's my biggest thing. Tengen sold so hard. I hate them so much.
You said if who hit a black flash?
If Yuki Tsukumo hit a black flash in that fight against Kinney when she and Shosa were defending Tengen in the chamber at Jujutsu High.
If only, right? But
A
nah.
black dude, imagine a black flash with Star Rage. I'm caught in a mental loop. I love my glorious Queen Yuki too much. I didn't want her to die, man.
Yeah, he would have ass pulled something. Definitely, he would have ass pulled something for sure.
I mean, I'd be fine with like, because their purpose was to defend Tengen. I was fine with like them like getting Kenjaku away, but Kenny or like Kenny running away, but also somehow still clipping Tengen on the way out. Because like Tengen's a bum. Tengen was built to just
Oh,
die to
weak.
establish stakes. Like that was the only reason they were there.
Tingen
So
is a
I didn't
certified
I didn't mind that.
enter.
On
I'm
God.
fucking crying.
Second biggest enter in the whole series behind Gakuganji. Only thing bro did was actively kill Yaga, a fellow member of Jujutsu Society. Like how was that the only thing on your resume? I hate him so much. He might be my least favorite character in JJK. He transcends Meimei.
I don't
Because at
know.
least Meimei, like, I don't know, fought a curse once, I guess. What was it, like the chicken pox curse or whatever it was in Shibuya? Gakuganji, nothing. Literally done nothing the whole series except for talk shit to Gojo and kill Yaga. That is
Trying to
beyond
think of
fraudulent.
who is my least favorite. I don't know. Who is my least favorite? Probably Mei Mei. Because Mei Mei just kind of sucks. She didn't do anything.
I mean, that's the
She's
right
not like a
answer.
funny
I'm
or
I'm
enjoyable
just being a
character.
hater towards the Gramps. Because Meimei is just objectively like a character who was written to be a massive piece of shit. And that's
Yeah,
like the
she
whole
just
reason why
kind of
she exists.
she's just kind of garbage, but not even in like a fun or like enjoyable
Yeah,
way.
no, she's just so hateable. Like that's the whole point to her character, which in a way I guess makes her well written, because like we all hate her, and that's her goal. That's her point. Behind the writing, behind the pen.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I feel
No,
like
I think so. I think she was like she's clearly somebody who takes advantage of others and just like never actually throws her life on the line. Like she was gonna fight Kenny and then just immediately dipped and like took a vacation to Malaysia, the place that like Nanami died dreaming about.
yeah.
Like I felt like that right there was just the most on the nose example of like this is clearly somebody who's like not like the others who actually fight and lay down their lives and care. She's just somebody who will use the others, including her own little brother,
You
to
know
her
what?
own ends.
I feel like we've been we've been kind of riding JJK hard, bro, because like truthfully, JJK definitely earned its spot in the new big 3 of falling off.
Damn. All right,
No,
man.
I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing.
No, I mean you're not
I'm
entirely wrong.
I'm
I
just
just
looking
don't
at
think it.
my manga list on Manga Katana, and I'm looking at fuck ass Tokyo Revengers, bro. Oh, I'm
See,
removing this
now we're
bullshit.
not gonna talk about that.
I had to remove that bullshit from my list.
On God.
Man, I don't
Yeah,
know,
I don't even want to talk about Tokyo Shit Vengers. I'm such a hater for that series.
man. I side note, I feel like I was just the nigga like the soy jack with crying with the fucking troll face mask on. That was me. Like once we got past the Christmas battle arc when he fights Mikey's brother, and
Yeah,
everything just went downhill, and I was like, surely it will get better. Surely it will get better, and it just got worse and
and it
worse
just
and
didn't.
worse and
Yeah.
worse, and I was just like, bro. And then I read that last chapter, and I was like, thank God this shit is done. I don't know, bro. There's like, I feel like we're in a weird trend. Like, JJK had me feeling like that. I'm like, thank God this shit is done. But you see, Attack on Titan, I was like, bro, I was genuinely hurt. I was like, damn, what the fuck? What the fuck? My Hero, I don't know.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
drop a
gonna lie.
nuclear take. I don't really have much of a problem with My Hero's ending. I think it had just enough story at the end to where like the ramifications were dealt with. We like knew that all these kids were traumatized, but they had to move on and keep like progressing in hero society. They had made the change they needed to. There weren't many threats left, so there wasn't really much need to continue the story. And also, I am so sick and tired of people slandering my nice guy Deku, my dude who just wanted to give it his one for all and save a few guys, punch a few guys. They were saying just put the fries in the bag and shit to him when he lost his quirk. They kept acting like everybody else in class 1A hated them despite the fact that they spent 8 years putting together the funds and the research for him to be able to be a hero again, even without a quirk.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. I haven't read My Hero. I
Oh, my fault.
stopped give. No, you're good. I stopped giving a fuck. Uh, once the anime for, I guess whatever season it was that like season 4 or whatever, when
Oh, that's way back.
Shigaraki like just blows everyone up. He's like, "Oh, I got my white hair on. I got my white hair on." And I was like, "Damn, I kind of don't give a fuck about this shit."
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in a weird
The
place
only
with
reason they
manga in
did that
general.
was My Hero Academia. I think Horikoshi realized just how outnumbered the villains were. And honestly, that's one of like that's I don't have a lot of problems with My Hero, but one of the few problems I do have with My Hero was that for the longest time the heroes so majorly outnumbered and definitely outpowered the villains. Because, like, what are Toga and Twice going to do against this many pro heroes that exist? So, Horikoshi did this thing where he introduced this, like, anti hero, like, underground liberation front that Shigaraki kind of took over and overpowered, and it was just a bunch of randos that didn't really end up going anywhere. But he just kind of like wanted there to be a bunch of nobodies under Shigaraki and All for One to kind of quote unquote even the odds and make it like this big war on two fronts with a lot of people on both sides. But even then, it was so blatantly obvious that the heroes should have won if they actually had their heads screwed on their shoulders right. And then for the entire quote unquote war arc, there were so many heroes who were making such stupid and reckless choices and just like throwing away their bodies and their lives for the dumbest, randomest stuff, to where I was like, this is clearly Horikoshi just kind of trying to like even the field, because the heroes so blatantly outpower and outscale the villains right now.
Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, I don't want to rabbit hole too hard.
Yeah, go ahead.
I peeped. I remember this was like way back in the gap. I had peeped My Hero on, I don't even remember what site I was using at the time. This was when Tokyo Ghoul Re was still going. And I was like reading that. And I saw the art, like the art for My Hero, and I was like, yo, this shit looks gas. I don't know what this is, but it looks raw. So I like added it to my list of shit to watch, and I distinctly remember same day, get home, My Hero episode 1, season 1 just came out on Hulu. Like the day it aired. I was like, oh shit. I was looking at this earlier. Watching, and I was like, this shit gonna be gas. And as the show went on, here's what fucked My Hero up for me. There is not a single character that I give a fuck about at all in My Hero. Not one. Maybe Hawks a little bit, and maybe Bakugo a little bit, but they both suck. So it's like I don't know. After this shit happened, I was like, damn dog, like the story is like cool, but Deku is like, I'm not gonna say Deku is a Gary Sue, but he's like Gary Sue adjacent, and I just don't give a fuck about any of these characters, so I dropped it. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Not to defend My Hero, because I kind of understand some arguments, but for the longest time, I was actually a certified Deku as a Gary Stu person until I kind of just remembered the point of the world building in My Hero, and like how literally every single pro hero other than him and All Might was just born with that. They were literally just like Todoroki, Bakugo, everyone. They were just nepotismed into herohood. Meanwhile, Deku like worked out for a whole year to prepare for fucking, school. And then like for 3, maybe even 4 I'm more like 3 whole seasons, his quirk just fucking shattered his bones. Meanwhile, everybody else his age just had these cool, awesome, super powered quirks that they had already mastered. So in a way, I think a lot of people just see the fact that All Might gave Deku the quirk and say, Deku didn't earn this. Bro, nobody did. Everyone else was born with their quirks. Literally, a massive plot of fucking My Hero is quirk nepotism and like quirk eugenics. Like with Todoroki's dad, like marrying a woman and having a bunch of babies just to have the most powerful like fire and ice combination quirk ever. Like that was crazy work. And then Deku, like, just being having it handed to him at 14 years old, everybody was like, he's the real nepotism, baby. And I'm like, no, he is not.
No,
One,
he
had to actually prove to All Might.
That irks me, bro. Is like My Hero has these like really interesting like concepts and themes, and then just like the characters just fall flat for me. But you know what else suffers from that same problem for me?
What?
Bleach. I don't
See,
like
now I don't know a lot about Bleach, actually.
I'm
gonna be completely honest with you.
I don't give a fuck about any characters in Bleach, not one. And I hate Ichigo. I think Ichigo fucking sucks. That nigga is dog shit. That is
I will say,
terrible MC, bro.
One thing My Hero does right is I understand why you don't give a fuck about a lot of the characters, but like you said earlier, with like bringing up these themes, like kind of like what I mentioned earlier with like the quirk nepotism and the eugenics and stuff, My Hero actually elaborates on those a lot. Like there are a lot of chapters in My Hero, even like during the so-called war arcs, that are dedicated to like, the characters' ramifications of these, the social ramifications of these, like how they affect people's relationships, like certain people experiencing the consequences of them. I think that's one of the things that My Hero actually does really well. Including like, how in My Hero there's a whole bunch of characters that just look like really fucking ugly and messed up.
Yeah.
Like they have an arc for that too. They have like there's like they're called heteromorphs. There's like racism against them, and there's a big thing with that with like one of the villains and one of the hero students and stuff. Like they cover themes, man. Like that's one of the things I will praise My Hero for.
Horikoshi is a theme merchant.
He's a theme merchant,
Wait.
especially when it comes to like just general social contexts of like of nepotism, of eugenics, of racism and stuff. I think he does those well.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn, there's a lot of manga that I really and anime that I just really don't give a fuck about, like because I don't like any of the characters. I am a certified side nigga. No, I'm kidding. I don't know, bro. Like, look
What
at
could
One
you
Piece.
possibly mean by that?
I like side characters. Look at One Piece, bro.
Oh,
There's
okay,
so
yeah.
many goated side characters. Look at fucking Sakamoto
Okay, to be
Days.
fair,
Sakamoto is
there's
a
a lot of
raw-ass
goated
nigga.
side characters, but also Luffy is my glorious king. That is my greatest
I mean,
manga
yeah.
protag of all time.
But like hell,
Bar
even
none.
JJK, like that's what drew me in. The side characters. I don't give a fuck about Gojo. I don't give a fuck about Yuji. I don't give a fuck about Megumi. I don't give a fuck about Nobara. I barely even care about damn Maki. I like Yuta. I like Maki
Yuta's
a little bit.
alright.
But
Yuta's Gary Stu as hell. I will say that. Yuta is like one of the most Gary Stu characters in Nujin manga. Suguna, however, Mahito, however, Jogo, however, my goats.
I don't know if I can say Yuta is Gary Stu, bro.
No, he is. I will die on this hill so hard.
Yuta is just a raw nigga.
See, like I said earlier, Gege, aura merchant. I've been saying it. Hakari, Yuta, he just introduced characters that go hard and have a scene that is utterly raw, and then he's like, all right, now they're just going to kind of hang around and talk about strategy.
I get what you mean, but also Yuta took like Yuta is an L farmer, bro. like to be honest, Yuta only really shined in the Culling War or the Culling game.
That's what I was gonna say. I can only say he's an L merchant because he was going up against the king of curses. Bro was putting LeBron numbers in the Culling game. He killed Yuji. He showed up after Shibuya and killed the main character for like 0.002 seconds.
I mean, that's just some real nigga shit, though.
Honestly, you know what? You might be right.
But that's why I like Sakamoto. I mean, I've only read like the first 15 chapters of Sakamoto Days. I will probably binge it this coming week. That and Dandadan, they're both under 200, so I can crank that out in a couple days if I really go hard. Centuria, I don't really give a fuck about the main character, Centuria. I'm just intrigued by the power in the world. Because I'm just looking at my list. Chainsaw Man is complicated because Chainsaw Man strikes me the way Code Geass did, where I feel like I don't know how I feel about any of these characters that I won't know until the series is done. Because, like, I hate Denji. I love Denji, but I hate Denji.
Damn.
Power?
You hate Denji?
I loved Power from day one. I hate Denji because of his character. But it's the same reason I love Denji. Like, he's a complicated nigga. You know
That's
what
fair.
I mean?
For me, it's just like Denji is a victim, and every time I try to fault Denji for something, it's like when I try to fault Yuji for something, I just be remembering that these are minors. Like at the end of the day,
yeah, but
like
also
17 or whatever, still a minor.
Denji is a fucking troglodyte. Like, we can admit.
Yeah, no, he is. He is stupid. Like that is the whole point of his character. That is why he is like so easily. The whole point of him is for him like to be constantly manipulated and experience the consequences and ramification of that, and for him to be grappling with his dumb teenage brain that seeks validation and is also horny. And I think it's cool. I think it's peak. Like I think the fact that like
it's great. But that's
Yeah.
also why I hate it. Like,
Yeah, no, I get it.
but I mean, I think I've said it a bajillion times. You can look at my profile picture and see Viral is one of, if not my favorite character in all of fiction.
True.
That is a aura king, a raw ass nigga to the maximum. I've said it before and I'll say it
Easily.
again. Viral might be
To
the
be fair,
strongest character in all of fiction.
saying a character has aura in Gurren Lagann is kind of like saying a human has water in their body.
I mean, this is true. This is
Like
true.
Simone, Kamina, my glorious King Kitan, Yoko. Fuck, even Buta.
I'm weak.
Buta when he got the glasses and was discovered to be a creature of pure spiral. Like no one does it like Gurren Lagann. Viral, of course.
I mean, Keaton.
Actually, there you know what? There's one. I will say Rossiu doesn't have aura. That guy had all of his aura stolen when Simone forgived him.
I'm weak. I mean, yeah.
Forgave. I'm bad at grammar.
You're good. Who had the most aura in JJ? Hey, definitely.
In
Sukuna.
JJK?
Definitely Sukuna.
Sukuna. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I would say
He was called the
Sukuna-
king of curses. He beat Gojo, and I don't care if everyone else is like he needed Mahoraga,
Okay.
he needed Agito.
If
Bro,
we
that
take-
wasn't meant to be a fair fight. The only reason it was a one-on-one is because if anyone else stepped in that city while Gojo and Sukuna were fighting, they would have been turned into mist. It wasn't meant to be like,
True.
oh, this is a fair,
I'm
honorable
not gonna lie
one-on-one.
though.
They
Don't
just couldn't
mistake
get
this
in their
for
way.
a 2-on-1. This is a 3-on-1. Is a top 5 line.
Yeah, that shit rocked.
That shit was so cold. But if we take Gojo and we take Sukuna out of the equation, who is the aura man of JJK? Toji is
aura
in the
man of
conversation,
JJK.
I think Kashimo is in the conversation. I don't know if I could put Mahito or Kenjaku in the conversation, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Mahito deserves a spot at the table simply for his performance. He was on a generational run in Shibuya.
He
Nanami
was, but also
taking
like,
down Todo. Like Sukuna didn't really do much more to Todo than Mahito did to him. Mahito is the reason he needed Re-Boogie Woogie. Mahito put Yuji on the edge of despair. He is the only curse to ever hit a Black Flash. He was cracked. Like if he continued to awaken, he would have been a problem if it weren't for Kitty.
but
Like he was on a generational run in Shibuya.
at the same time, Mahito got ultra bitched by Left Right Goodnight. Now, granted, Left Right Goodnight put down a lot of niggas. But
yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of we have to remember.
But
this is the Black Flash merchant.
When we look at how Sukuna went out versus how Mahito went out, yikes.
To be fair, I think they died in similar ways, and I think that's like indicative of. Hear me out.
Sukuna was indignant till the end. He said, "Fuck you, nigga. I'm a curse. Eat a dick." Mahito was like, please, no, please. Like the whole time.
That's why I'm saying, like, both of them rejected their death. That was the whole point of, like, why they both died that way. Because they were these extremely foreboding figures who, like, you know, took the lives of so many others. So the whole point was for it to be ironic that both of them, like, rejected their death so heavily at the time that it happened, but couldn't do anything about it.
I don't really think Sukuna rejected his death, though. He was like
he definitely was talking that shit until the very end and like being like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill everybody you love, fuck you.
But even when he died, he was like, don't mistake it, bitch, I'm a curse. And then for him to turn around and tell Mahito, like, I feel like they were very opposite. Like they were both within like the same like player build, like same archetype, but like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, like, they're two sides of the same coin, in my opinion.
Even Mahito got bitched by Sukuna, too. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I could put Mahito in the conversation for the Aura Maxer. I think it's definitely... My sleeper pick is Gojo. I mean, not Gojo.
I mean, okay,
Jogo.
if we really want to get into it, without a fail, every single character in Jujutsu Kaisen, actually no, every single one. Name any character in JJK, they have had their aura stolen from them at least once.
Maki?
Once. Maki got written out of the story by one punch from Sukuna. On Women's Day, on National Women's Day, she got hit with the first anti-woman Black Flash and was put to sleep. That stole her aura.
Oh, fucking crying.
You can look it up too. That chapter dropped on International Women's Day. I am not lying.
I remember it.
And Yuta got sliced on Valentine's Day. Gege knew what he was doing.
Okay.
Yuta got sliced. I'm not lying.
Yuta definitely got bitched. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
everyone
say
at
Maki,
least once.
Maki didn't
Everyone
get
has had their
bitched.
aura stolen at least
Maki
once.
didn't get bitched. Hikari,
I won't say bitched.
Hikari never got bitched. Not even once. Not even a half of once. Honestly, Hikari might be the aura man's, bro.
No, I can't give it to him because like
and Toji, because Yuta got bitched. Maki,
I think every time Hikari has had aura, it was because of the other character in the scene, Yuji, Kashimo, and Urame. I'm not saying like they were the ones with the aura. I'm saying that like it was a 50-50. Like they exacerbated each other's aura. You know what I mean?
But Kashimo is up there definitely as far as like aura maxing. Kashimo,
Yeah, because I'll give, like I said, I'll give
"Damn,
everyone
you
a
were strong."
freebie because everyone has had their aura taken from them once. Like obviously, the waffled one. I can't even say it with a straight face. The waffled one. Like obviously, we know he had his aura taken from him once, but other than that, his fight with Hikari might actually have some of the most aura in the whole series. Like in terms of like 50-50, like aura for aura, because we've seen some one-sided aura. Like I am the honored one.
I am the honored. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Here's my hot take. I do not give a fuck about that moment. I don't care. Like it's cool, but it didn't move me. I don't know, bro.
I think
Like
the honored one was like
the.
I think Gege thought that the honored one was the pinnacle of like the ties between the Buddhist themes and the notion of like cursed energy as enlightenment. I think he just thought that the honored one moment elaborated on that more than it did, and therefore he just never elaborated on it again.
He was like, "Yeah, I cook with this shit." Okay, moving on.
Because like without fail, like that is clearly meant to have Buddhist undertones and like be a tying to like the notion of Jujutsu sorcerers are bodhisattvas who are looking to escape nirvana, and by attaining true strength and true mastery of Jujutsu, they, you know, like open their third eye and yada yada yada. Like someone else could probably explain it better than me. Some YouTuber probably. But case in point, that is what it was trying to be. And that is the only reason why I think the honored one is a good moment. You know, aside from everybody else being like, whoa, this is opium.
Oh, weak. I mean,
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't know. Fuck, man.
Yeah, if I give everyone a freebie, I think Kashimo has a seat at the table because like everyone's had their aura taken once. Even Gojo.
I don't think Kashimo really had his aura taken, bro.
Nah, he did. He got cleared in one chapter by Sukuna. That was having his aura taken.
Nah.
He took him head on, which yeah, I will give him that respect. I just think it's with all due respect and love to Kashimo, it is a little embarrassing for him to jump out there like, you know, like a rabbit at the very moment, the instant Gojo died, to try and steal the show and clutch out the win for yourself, only to get waffled in one chapter. Again, I get it. A lot of people would have done the same thing. I will give him the freebie. Everyone's had their aura taken once. I do think that was an aura deduction. But everyone's had one, like I said. Even Maki. Although I will say, I do agree that I don't think Hikari's ever had like explicitly an aura deduction. I just don't think he's ever been like, I don't think he's ever had the aura pinnacle that other people have had. Because like even in his fight with Kashimo like kind of out-aura'd him with the funeral of the living line. And also that like scientific reaction he did with like moleculizing the water with his electricity. Like they got scientifical in that fight.
Oh, wait. Fuck. I mean, they did,
Honestly,
but that's why I'm like, I don't know. It might be Hikari, bro, because Hikari never had his aura still. Even when the chips were down,
but
he was like,
like I
watch
said,
this.
I don't think Hikari has ever like had his aura reach the pinnacle that a lot of other characters have reached. Like Toto, I think Toto actually might have the most aura in the whole series because every time he shows up, the game changes. Even if he loses later, like he did his work. Like when he showed up to Shibuya, and when he showed up during the Shinjuku showdown, like the table flipped, the vibe changed.
Who?
Toto.
Uh, yeah, he's up there. I just feel like Toto got replaced by Hikari.
No, I don't think so. And I think he didn't get replaced by I think he didn't get replaced by Hikari because he showed up at the end of the Sukuna fight. Because he knew, like Gege knew how close Toto and Yuji were and how good their bond was and how good their like dynamic was. And also just how fucking cool and awesome Toto was as a support character to my left right goodnight king. Also, I don't really think Toto and Hikari are similar. I think the only way that they're similar is that they kind of like chase pleasures, I guess.
They just
One
have
being
similar
gambling and the other being
builds,
idols.
similar sauce. Honestly,
I don't
who are
know.
we
I
kidding,
think
bro?
Toto's much more interesting to watch because Toto has Boogie Woogie. Hikari, at the end of the day, a punch and kick merchant. I still vote they
True.
should have given him Playful Cloud. They should have had him be a weapons user. That would have done numbers for him.
Hear me out,
Hearing.
Takaba.
Yeah, thank you. I was waiting for the conversation to spin around here. Takaba is my goat. Takaba is my king. Takaba, wouldn't it be funny?
Takaba.
The character. I don't give a fuck what people say. I know a lot of people, they didn't know what the hell was going on during his fight with Kenny. That's because like 90% of that humor was jokes that Japanese comedians have done. Like I said earlier, a lot of Eastern stuff that, people don't really get. Don't care. That shit was the peak of JJK for me. For Gojo to die, Kashimo to get waffled, and then us to cut to the other main villain of the fight, of the series getting turned into a nurse, hit by a car, swimming in Fanta. Gege was losing his mind. Also, Takaba might be the most busted character in the whole series. Like, at the end of the day, you can word it however you want to. He fought Kenjaku to a standstill. Of course, Kenjaku got bush camped by Yuta, and that's how they finished the job. But Takaba might be my goat. Straight up. Might be my goat.
I'm not mad at it. Whew. Fuck. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth talking about. I don't know. I'm like, I enjoy JJK. I'm glad it's done. Let's move the fuck on. Like,
Yeah.
not
No,
even
completely
like us,
understandable.
just like as a society. Like,
We as a unit.
as a society, let's fucking wrap this shit up. But anyway, that was real. That was fun. An hour and a half of yapping about mid JK.
Hell yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Getting a little sidetracked.
Nah.
With My Hero and Bleach and Chainsaw Man.
Hey, fuck it. Honestly, Chainsaw Man GOAT. Chainsaw Man better.
That's what I'm saying.
The real question is trying to play some some dreadlocks.
As much as I might later. I did promise Najee I would stream a game for her, so I'll let you know if that ends early.
For sure. Alright, well we're gonna wrap up this stream. I might come
Hell
back in a
yeah.
little bit. I don't know. We'll see how my night goes. We'll see what I'm feeling, what I'm doing. But
All right. In that case, I think I will see you later.
yeah.